thank you to everybody who's watching this video, because you're the reason why we're here right now. You're the reason why we were able to go on this journey.
Meet humanity's greediest individuals. Nope, greedier. The YouTube channel Watcher.
Yesterday, a beloved YouTube group made an announcement.
They are paywalling all of their content.
And the internet is in an uproar.
Dedicated fans became furious at the YouTubers as they announced a new subscription service for their content.
That dislike, holy shit.
Putting an end to the free content they put out on YouTube.
This whole thing was a masterclass of what not to do.
If this is my last time on YouTube, then baby, what a life I've lived.
Hey guys, it's Donna. Obviously, I was being flippant in the intro. Bottom line with these kinds of situations are always, if you don't like it, just don't buy it. However, situations like this are always fascinating to me because tons of influencers do some sort of paid advertising all the time. Some viewers actually cheer the creator on, while other times, like in this situation, it's an outrage. So it's more than just, if you don't like it, don't buy it. Watcher obviously did something wrong because when done right, audiences love when creators release products, courses, or whatever. And as someone that is in the space too, has a Patreon, I'm always looking at what creators do wrong and what creators do right. So let's see where this perceived betrayal comes from. Founders of the YouTube channel Watcher, Shane Madej, Ryan Bergara, and Stephen Lim had a huge announcement for their fans.
Over the weekend, they put out a video called Goodbye YouTube where they announced that they were leaving the platform to create their own streaming service. And so they say that having their own independent streaming service is just going to give them more freedom. With the service set to be ad-free, costs $6 per month or $60 annually. And as far as on YouTube, they said, when new seasons of shows pop up, we'll post the first episode here, but if you want to see the full season, you got to go pay. We'll also have trailers, stuff like that. And so with that, they did not get the reaction I think they were expecting.
When I look at the success that these guys are clearly having, I find it hard to believe that they can't make it work.
With a successful Patreon and live shows, the negative criticism essentially boiled down to them being out of touch, offering yet another thing fans have to pay monthly for. What's the point of Patreon then? Viewers accuse them of abandoning the audience that got them their start in the first place.
And they're going to be doing all of their new content on a streamer that they are making, as well as archiving all of their old content and putting it on the streamer, so you can't even watch their old YouTube videos anymore.
When I was first looking into this, I did not understand their fans' reaction at all. I was the typical outsider looking in. Just don't buy it then. After doing a deep dive into the company's inception though, I realized, oh, this was a complete betrayal on their community. If you research the inception of Watcher, fan funding is a major part of how their operation runs. Watcher isn't your typical YouTube channel.
Watcher is a new production studio that Ryan, Shane, and myself came together to create because we wanted to make high-quality content for the internet, for streaming platforms, for the world, and we wanted a place where we could do it on our terms.
We came from a place called Buzzfeed. We made a lot of cool content there. We made shows that we're very proud of.
Two of the three founders, Shane and Ryan, created one of Buzzfeed's best series, BuzzFeed Unsolved, where the hosts would investigate a wide range of cases and phenomena, from unsolved murders to haunted locations.
Hey there, demons. It's me, your boy.
The two gained such a massive fan base for the web series that after their departure, Unsolved arguably could not recover. They left in 2020, and still, viewers comment about how bad the videos are now without them. Their third founder, Stephen Lim,
okay, here we go,
was also part of a popular BuzzFeed project called Worth It.
Guess what we're eating today?
As one of the hosts, Lim and another co-host would travel to different food spots, trying the same food at different price points to determine which is the most worth it at its respective price. As we know now, BuzzFeed had a difficult time sustaining their good creators, so the three of them decided to join forces to create their own media company, Watcher.
We did feel that it was time to make something of our own, make content that we own.
Now, this isn't an easy task. Going from a corporate structure where you're guaranteed pay despite the view count to independent creators where the amount of pay fluctuates and is based on viewership and sponsorship. This was going to be a tough transition.
If we fail, like if this whole thing caused bankruptcy one day, it's still not the end of the world. I am very happy with how we spend our time.
However, they believed in themselves so much that they put a good amount of personal investment just to take this risk.
Today, I finally put in the last bit of my own personal investment into this company. It's weird to put that much money into something that is basically just, I guess, me betting on myself and also on Shane and Steven, and that, that we can make this thing work.
Still, this wasn't enough. In an effort to get more funding, the three of them attempted to raise money through investors, even though they haven't done that before.
My job is to make content, in addition to doing the business side. But if we don't raise money, the business dies. So I have to actually put aside my job as a content creator for now and go raise money.
Giving up more focus on content creation, Lim was eventually able to raise money for their new company.
3, 2, 1. Happy watchers! Woo!
This is amazing.
Wow!
Taking an ever-winding look at yet another chapter in the heavy book we call history.
In addition to the founders' personal investments and investor funding, fans also played a big part in sustaining the operation of the channel through Patreon and merch.
Last but not least, we have to thank all of you guys, everyone who's watching this video, everyone who's watched us in the past, in our previous endeavors. If it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't be able to make this. We wouldn't be able to even dream of a company like this and be crazy enough to undertake it if we didn't have your support, your encouragement. You guys are the thing that makes Watcher go. We're doing this for you, and thank you for the opportunity.
Now, this launch video reveals that fans' motivation to support them is different from the typical fan supporting another YouTuber. Usually, someone launches a Patreon because what they make on YouTube is constantly getting demonetized. Their content features not so advertiser-friendly things. They can't make money through the views, so to keep that stuff going, they need fan support. Another common reason for launching some sort of fan funding is that they produce quality content once in a blue moon. With a recurring monthly subscription, that type of creator can put all their energy into this one video without worrying about what to do for income months where they don't upload. All creators are somewhat beholden to those things, of course, including them, but even without fan support, they clearly had access to many resources. This tells you that fans weren't supporting them for the sole reason that they just needed help. Though the team was modest, seeing all these resources would deter many from supporting these creators. But fans loved the mission and company culture that Watcher could be, and they gladly wanted to help build that. Watcher as a company was the antithesis to the Buzzfeed corporate structure. The structure that burned many of its creators out, including Steven, Shane, and Ryan. The structure that put good creators through the content-making machine in the interest of producing quantity. Watcher made it its mission to produce less content, but high quality and high effort. Watcher didn't just put on the aesthetic of diversity because it was profitable. They believed that having a high variety of viewpoints would benefit their storytelling.
If you're going to distill media into what its purest form is, it's basically just the aggregate of people's opinions. And if the only opinions that are going into it are 3 adult men, it's not going to always end up being the best piece of content, which is why it's so important to have like diverse opinions, younger opinions, and of course like opinions that are not just male.
They also wanted to create a company culture where people were paid fairly and they felt fulfilled.
I want Watcher to be a place full of good people that enjoy each other. I want it to be a place where people are happy to go to work and to know that I helped start that. That would fill me with an immense sense of pride.
And so, even though they clearly had more financial resources than the average creator, their community came together and were moved by their mission. They wanted to be part of developing this culture with them. And as of recording this video, their Patreon has over 13,000 members who continue to back that mission. And this isn't counting the people that attend their live shows or purchase their merch. So, you're already helping to build this cool company culture by subscribing to their Patreon, paying for whatever tier you're paying for. Then they drop this announcement on you. No more content on YouTube, the thing you were initially helping to fund. Now you have to pay for something else. I'd feel betrayed too. But is there a world where something similar could have worked out? Moist Critical explained the situation best.
It's the whole concept of the content you were getting for free is now no longer going to be free.
This person had a really good point. They said, Dropout, Star Kid, Tin Can Bros, Good Mythical Morning are proof fans are not opposed to paying for premium content and supporting their faves. Fans are opposed to a paywall for all future content, a mismanaged business, and an attitude from the founding members that it's essentially if you don't pay, you're not welcome.
We've seen influencers start their own streaming services or something of a similar nature, and viewers have fully supported them. This is because I fully believe that what watchers set out to do was okay, but how they framed it was entirely wrong. To understand why, it's best to look at this controversy through the psychological lens of reactance theory. In 1966, psychologist Jack Brem developed the theory of reactance. This is a psychological concept that suggests when people feel their freedom to choose or act as being limited, they will be motivated to restore or assert that freedom. You can see that playing out in this situation fully.
$5.99 to watch them. Why can't I just watch them on YouTube like people do for free?
Fans had access to watchers' content for free on YouTube. Then they took that away by essentially stating that the only way you could watch the content was if you paid for a monthly subscription. They of course received a reactance response.
The way that they did frame it paints the company as desiring to grow without respect for the fans that it's built on. In restricting the content, it punishes the fan base.
Now, if you're a psychology or creator nerd like me, you find this stuff fascinating because reactance theory can actually be really effective the opposite way. Many times the viewer's freedom is threatened by outside forces. Let's take the algorithm. CoffeeZilla, for example, makes excellent content, highly researched, investigative, and well produced. Something like this is almost impossible to publish on a weekly basis. Unfortunately, the sporadic nature of his upload schedule isn't the best when you're attempting to establish a sustainable amount of monthly revenue to keep this high-level production going. Additionally, because his channel often does exposés, he's chosen to not take sponsorships to deter any sort of conflict of interest. This means he would have to upload subpar content that's possible for him to do weekly, give or take, so that he can fund his bigger projects. However, working on subpar projects takes time away from working on these larger ones. In this case, the freedom of his viewers to watch the high-quality content they want is obstructed by the YouTube algorithm. To solve this, CoffeeZilla announced the launch of his Patreon. The viewers' reactance response here was positive towards this creator. They would be able to assert their freedom by subscribing to the Patreon. To no one's surprise, it did very well. Filling market expectation, as well as working on reactance theory, Coffee has done a great job listening to what his audience wants and delivering on it. This is why public figures often claim the title of cancelled. They want to put in their viewers' heads that the freedom to watch their content may be severely threatened, even though that may not be true. The backlash Matt Rife faced comes to mind. I may be out of touch here, but to me, that wasn't cancelled. It may have been under the umbrella of cancel culture, and I know that many people use that term loosely, but I always thought to be truly cancelled, one loses their sponsorships or work opportunities. Rife is still killing it with his mostly young female fans. To me, that was just a group of people mad at a public figure. Normal when you put yourself out there. That's what you signed up for. Cancelled is Shane Gillis when he got fired from SNL. Now, Watcher did attempt to play on reactance as many creators do. But now that we know the motivation that first got fans to subscribe to their Patreon, let's see where they messed up. The first 5 minutes of this video was honestly fluff. A background of their experiences as early video makers working at Buzzfeed, and their beginnings at Watcher. It's overdramatic and has cheesy music. Then finally, at 5 minutes and 30 seconds, they explain why they're leaving YouTube.
50% of our business is run by advertising. We are relying on ads to make money, to pay the bills, to run this office, to make beautiful content for all of you guys out there. Unfortunately, over time, the deals that we were getting in 2019, 2020 are looking a lot different than they are today. We're making something for two audiences. We're making it for the fans, all of you out there, and we're also making it to please the advertisers. It's difficult to make the stuff that we want to make and also then appeal to the advertisers as well.
There it is, the threat to freedom. But it doesn't make sense. Yeah, mob mentality is a thing, but viewers are smart. Their videos do pretty well view-wise, they have a Patreon, they have sponsors, and they make content that doesn't really seem like it get demonetized.
The goal was always to make television caliber quality content. And not just for YouTube, but for you guys. I guess we just hope you guys follow us this one last time.
But hearing like we have a unique point of view and we never want to compromise on that vision, and the one clip I've seen being him like, hey buddy, want some fart? It's like, bro, sure man, say whatever you want to say, but like other people are getting it done. Mr. Beast is fucking buying towns.
This boils down to they need more money because they want to up their quality.
They seem to have elevated themselves to an importance that they are not really at. For example, Ryan repeatedly talks about the fact that he wants to make videos that are at the same level of television-style shows, but why? That's not what a majority of their subscribers are there for. Many people commented saying that Shane and Ryan's chemistry is what made them follow in the first place.
Even in the comments, a lot of their audience were like, look, we didn't ask for high quality production. We didn't ask for television. We actually liked it back in the old days when it like wasn't as highly produced.
So the threat to freedom isn't from advertisers like they explained. It's from them wanting more money. We can't do YouTube anymore because we want to make higher quality things. And there's nothing wrong with that, but the reason their viewers helped to fund them in the first place was entirely different. Remember, this company was the antithesis to the assembly line styled nature of Buzzfeed. Them having to leave Buzzfeed was the original threat to viewers' freedom. And while quality was part of that package, that's not the main reason why viewers helped them. Which many comments have pointed out that they would rather not fund someone traveling to places just to eat food.
This is not a behind the scenes or behind a paywall. This is not support us if you want. This is if you want to see the thing that you have supported to get us to this moment, now you have to pay. And if you don't pay, well, see you later.
Due to the overwhelming amount of negative criticism, they were prompted to upload an update video.
We've been reading the things you've been saying, and we're sorry for the way we handled this, as well as the way we communicated it. We understand where you're coming from, and we're making immediate changes.
In this update video, it seems as if they changed a few features of the model.
If you want to watch our shows early and ad-free, you can catch them on the Watcher platform a month earlier. After that, you'll be able to watch our shows on YouTube for free.
It's actually really smart the way they framed this to avoid reactance. I'm not trying to stir the pot here, but I do think it's useful to examine these situations so aspiring creators, as well as I, don't make the same mistakes. They framed it as, content will go on as usual on YouTube. If you subscribe to the streamer though, you will get a bonus of seeing the videos early. A big mistake that they could have made was the inverse of that. Content will be released on the streamer, but later released on YouTube a month later. If they had a better relationship with their viewers, the second option is actually really useful if you want to motivate people to hop on the streaming platform. But in this case, they just wanted to fix the backlash. Additionally, they also changed the fact that anyone who pays for the Patreon will receive a free subscription code to the service as well.
It's a really good response. Like, I'm so used to these YouTube responses or apologies, whatever you want to call them, being like really defensive and not quite understanding what people's issues are with the situation. But honestly, I feel like they kind of got it right with this one.
I want to reiterate that this move wasn't inherently bad, but it's obvious to see that they missed the mark. As a fellow creator who also struggles with AdSense and pleasing sponsors, I want to give props to Watcher and their team. In a content farm AI landscape where so many influencers are now just chasing views, causing not just YouTube but all of social media to look the same, I can truly say that Watcher is one of the few channels that actually contributes to culture and not just copies it. Which is why this fan reaction shouldn't be surprising. While the name calling and conspiracy theories are uncalled for, if anything positive comes out of this, I hope this backlash shows them just how much their content means to their viewers. Alright guys, so with that update video, they did correct a lot of things. It's obviously no longer goodbye YouTube, it's more like we're gonna be late on YouTube. But it seems like their update corrects a lot of what we discussed. So if you're an avid viewer of their channel, I'd love to know if their solution was enough for you. That's the end of the video. I'll see you guys next time. Stay psyched.